I'm Mike Forrester from Oregon, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about the stock saw today. A few basic things that I've learned over the years. First of all is gear, safety gear, very important. Chaps, earphones, and eye protection. We'll get these set up here. Then the next thing I'll do when I approach the log is I'll set up my marks, because we only have 4 inches of wood here to cut in. I need to make 2 cuts. So what I'll do is I'll usually mark about 1 inch in on my top, and then I'll try to make about 1 inch in from the line. I'll make another mark for my upcut. So I'll make the marks, and I'll make this mark. And you really want to concentrate on your marks, okay? Then after I do that, I'll adjust the saw and make sure that I get a feel to where I want to be with my foot position and my body. And I'll practice when I'm coming down, picking the saw up. Very important to grab the saw where it's nice and balanced. You don't want to grab it over here or over here. You want to keep it nice and true, okay? So I'll just give a couple practices, coming down, grabbing and making sure I'm even and setting the saw on the log. Then after that, I need to have my feet in position for my change. So if I'm here, I'll practice coming through and making sure the saw is locked against my body. I mean locked against my body. I like to lock the handle against my leg. As I'm coming down, as I come right from my change, to steady that saw from moving around. As I come through, I don't want the back of the saw to move. I want it to be nice and locked in to where I can just come right back up with it. Using my legs. I find that using my legs, I keep it steady and I can keep an even pressure on it all the way back up through. We'll get here, we'll come down, start, up with the legs, usually trying to get the saw in somewhat of a position to where I can shove it down and be in line for my upcut. You don't want to be in this position when you set your saw in, as you're coming through, and then have to tip the tip down to come back up, because obviously you're not cutting the wood evenly all the way down. You know, you're rocking the saw. You don't want to rock the saw. You want to come up, keep it smooth, and back up in the transition in the same way. Because anytime you rock the saw, the teeth are out of the wood. You're cutting wood, only one side of the wood. You want to cut both sides at the same time. On your starts, when you have the saw running and you want to get up to the top of the wood quickly, but you want to be at full power. A lot of people you'll watch, they'll come down, they'll grab the saw, and as they come up, they're trying to find the handle back here to get the trigger, and they'll hit the wood and it'll go brrr, and then they'll start picking up. When you come down to grab that handles, make sure your back handle grabs the front one at the same time, so you're hitting maximum RPM as you hit the log, okay? Very important on the grab. Make sure you grab this. And another little thing, you notice one of your competitors yesterday at the college level came in with their thumb and choked it. I like to grab, when I go to grab, there. I'll never kill it, okay? You can, once you grab that and you got the RPMs up, you can always bring your thumb down. Just a little safety there. Another little safety to get you going good is don't have your saw too far back from the log. Okay, when you come down too far back, that's what you're going to do. Okay, you don't want to be grabbing this. You want to kind of tuck it underneath the edge of the log a little bit, so you can't grab it. Pretty hard sliding off the log, it goes right to there. Okay, so slide here, come up. You want to minimize your mistakes, and that's a big mistake right there if you grab that. You'll be sitting there fumbling around. And then I'll give you a little idea of what to listen to when you're cutting. Lock it between your legs, or you can start it on the ground here. Now, did you hear that pull down real hard? That's something you don't want to do, okay? You want to be right on the edge of that thing pulling down. As soon as it starts pulling down, you just want to ride that line before it starts dropping off on power and RPMs. So you've really got to listen to it. And what you need to do is pick up a saw and run it at home all the time and listen for that tune.
No one's
Now, did you hear a little difference there, the pitch and stuff? And you can feel the vibration too. The vibrations will slow down the more you pull down on the saw. But you want to keep it right at that fine line. It's very important to feel and hear it. The only thing you can do on that is just repetition. You know, maybe have a friend out there timing you and feel it. You know, you run different pitches in your ear and feel that saw and see which is the fastest time. Once you get that pitch in your ears and you remember the pitch, it's very easy to get back up there and run it every time. That's something you need to do. After that, it's just basically going over this same situation time and time again at home. Something that people don't really realize that it's that important. You pick up a saw, we put it in the wood, and we run it. But it's more than that, because it's feel. And the slightest little bobble, if you pull that engine down just a fraction for a second, 3 or 4 people in this series will jump in front of you. You look at the times, they're just bam, 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 bam on time. So you've got to be very precise with your engine. You've got to be to the wood quickly. Before I came to the series, I knew how fast the best people got to the wood. And you need to be from top of the log to the saw and back to the top of the log in a second. I get home and I do boom. Come here, boom. You know, eliminating that time down to where if I got that quick to the wood, if I pulled it down just a fraction, I'm still okay. You know, I can come back on the cut. A lot of practice. Make sure you wear your safety gear every time you're practicing, because you never know when the unforeseen is going to happen. Just repetition, repetition.
I was wondering, do you have, when you set your feet, does it help to be square? Like,
you want to be square to the block. Maybe I'll have my foot cocked a little bit, but my hips are square.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be square. And when I come up square, you know, you can keep that thing in line and come up, like I said, back into my leg, and I just right there.
You're cutting the top third and the bottom third. Do you push down a little faster? You don't keep the same speed all the way through? Do you try and increase? Or?
Well, you're pulling less wood at the top, so obviously you can push a little harder.
Right.
And as you reach the center, you've got to listen for the motor pulling. And you take a little bit off through the center, and then as you go through the bottom, you start applying just a hair more pressure, yeah. Just listen to it and just make sure you're feeding to keep that sound even the whole time. Yeah.
What's the most crucial thing to have the least time between you're down and you're out? Is it having the saw on your leg and being...
I find it is, you know, as I come down, I've got it braced against my leg, and I'm still applying the top pressure here. Because you're putting so much pressure on the saw to go down through, as that thing comes out, it's just shove it right back up in. You don't want to come out and then try to line it up and come back up. It's more of a feel for me. I'm pushing here and I'm keeping an eye on my line, and as I come out the bottom, I'll just use my hips, throw it right back up in.
So it's more your hip and your leg and your arms.
Mm-hmm. My arms stay, once I come down to here, my arms are straight. I want to be locked to where I don't move the saw. So I'm locked here and I'll just use my hips. For me, it makes a very quick and smooth changeover. It's just right back in. I don't even have to worry about how much wood because I'm taking a fairly thin cookie because I'm not coming over and trying to come up. That's about the secrets I can tell you about that.